My jaw nearly dropped. I couldn't wrap my head around where they'd even gotten that idea. They said someone they knew had told them, and they were just so happy for me. I barely said a word while they went on and on about how proud they were that I'd finally gotten married. My dad was over the moon at the thought of meeting my husband and getting to know him better. My mom immediately asked if I was planning to quit my job now so I could focus on kids and making my husband happy. Their assumptions completely floored me. Slowly, it hit me. The only reason they suddenly reached out after 8 years was because they believed I'd married my boss, which, in their eyes, magically elevated my social status. And now they expected me to be the perfect little wife. Their condescending tone and their expectations made my blood boil, but I decided to play along. I painted them a picture of my life, part of which was true. My husband and I really do live comfortably, but I piled on a bunch of lies. I told them we had 20 maids, a giant mansion with a pool and all that. My parents ate up every word, their excitement only growing, especially when they started begging me to introduce them to my wealthy husband. Their enthusiasm was just pathetic because the only reason they suddenly wanted me back in their lives was this ridiculous lie that I'd married my boss. While I played along and agreed to set up a weekend meeting, a plan was already forming in my head. I wanted to teach them a lesson, to make them realize how much pain they caused when they walked away from me just because I didn't meet their expectations. And now suddenly they're dying to come back into my life, but only so they can show off to their church friends. It was bitter, and I was determined to show them the consequences of their choices. I talked to my husband about my plan. He understood why I lied, but wasn't sure if starting things off with a fake story was the right way to go. It was their first time meeting him. After a bit of convincing, though, he agreed to play along. I also reached out to my boss. Yeah, my boss is a woman. We'd become good friends over the years I worked at the company. I told her everything, and she was honestly pretty amused by what was going on with my parents. I asked if I could borrow her house for a day, and she was totally on board. I sent my parents the address and set up the meeting they'd been asking for. On the day, they pulled up to the house, fully convinced they were about to meet my wealthy boss, the man they thought I'd married. Their eyes went wide when they saw the size of the house and the massive lawn. My husband and I met them at the door. My dad shook his hand like he was trying to rip it off. My mom hugged me and congratulated me on the marriage. Even though my husband had his doubts at first, he nailed the role. He greeted my parents with a big smile, made easy conversation, and played the part of the rich executive they believed he was. We sat down at the table, and my parents immediately noticed the staff bringing us food. My dad started firing questions at my husband about the house, his assets, and of course, how someone like me managed to land a guy like him. Even though the whole interrogation vibe annoyed me, my husband stayed in character and spun a full-on story about his wealth, career, and how we supposedly met. It was all part of the act we'd planned together. Then, in the middle of it all, my